All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to another episode of It's All Small Stuff. That is for sure. That applies to almost everything in life, I think, and it's a good thing. Hey, before I forget, please subscribe or like one of my videos. I'd really appreciate it. What we're doing here and what I'm doing is just trying to spread ways and motivations to live a clean, simpler life. And find your higher power, find your purpose in life. I found mine through God. I'd recommend him to you all day. You know, he's up all night. Give him a call. Um, been able to locate that peace and happiness and prosperity through him. Um, so I would definitely encourage that. Seek out the cross. That's for sure. So here on my channel, this is a series I'm doing called "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff." There's 100. It's going to be a 100-episode series. I'm following out of the book of Dr. Carlson, and everyone just gets better and better. I have previously read most of them, but I've gone through some of them numerous times, and I said, man, this is so good. I want to share this with my friends and family and whoever else happens to find their way to my channel. Yeah. So here we go. Today is episode 4. I hope you guys have enjoyed 1, 2, and 3 so far. If not, go back and read them. It's all in a series together. I'd appreciate that. Share with people, all that good stuff. So, all right, everybody's done with me rambling. Let's get into the good stuff. It says, this one is be aware of the snowball effect of your thinking. Now, we all know where this one's going. We've all been there. I mean, I wouldn't even have to read this, and we could talk about that. You know, something happens, and you start to think about it, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. And then you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden you're all wrapped up in this situation that you wouldn't have had to be. That snowball effect, you know. That's why it's sometimes you got to let stuff go and roll on with it. So here we go. A powerful technique for becoming more peaceful is to be aware of how quickly your negative and insecure thinking can spiral out of control. You know, that's what I was talking about. Your negative and insecure thinking can spiral out of so control. You know, you're out and about and somebody looks at you a weird way or something, and you left the house in something that you didn't think looked too good on you. So then right away, you know, you're like, oh, I don't look good, or oh, they were laughing at me. When they might not have been thinking or looking at your direction at all, but then our minds, we just let our minds go, and then we're all self-conscious and self-conscious. Conscious? Somebody say that with me. Self-conscience? There we go. I'm glad we worked through that one together. I appreciate y'all. So anyways, have you ever noticed how uptight you feel when you're caught up in your own thinking? And to top it off, the more absurd you get in the details of whatever is upsetting you, the worse you feel. One thought leads to another, yet another, until at some point you become incredibly agitated. Anxiety, all that stuff. You know, that's we can't have that part of our life. It's a waste of time. It's hard to get rid of once you get into it. You know, the I think the more stuff like that we can nip in the bud immediately when it comes into our mind. I mean, I get thoughts throughout the day, and man, I got to go to the bathroom at work and hit my knees, or at lunch I got to hit my knees in front of my car. You know, I have got to continually stay aware of my thoughts, because thoughts lead to actions. And in my world, through my higher power, even some thoughts can be sinful. But so any bad thought or spiraling in the wrong direction, really, I'll give a good example. I was at work the other day, and a pretty higher up person came by, and I was on my phone, which I was just switching my Spotify channel, but he reiterated to me and the other guy that, hey, the phones are for listening only, you know, which is really awesome that my place does that. And instantly it upset me. Instantly. Because I'd worked for my dad for years. I was general manager of a door and window company for a while, and I was on my phone. I've most of the jobs that I've had, oil field, working for my dad, or when I was running Renaissance Windows and Doors, or when I had my own shop, you know, I was the boss, so nobody'd ever tell me to get off the phone. That was my job, to be on the phone. So to be back here in Kansas and be in manufacturing is very humbling, Lord's working with me on that. I had to work through that, because right away I was like, well, what am I, a kid, blah, blah, blah. But that is the rules, and he's the one paying me. So, I've got to humble myself and work through it. And sometimes you hope it's quicker than others. That one took me a couple hours to get bad thoughts out, because right away it's like, screw this place. I'll just quit. Can't you be on my phone? But I worked through that, but I immediately knew that I would have to go to the Lord with that immediately. So I immediately went to him and I said, Lord, I'm not special. I don't have my own business right now. I'm working for somebody, and I have to respect their wishes. And to humble myself immediately, and I was able to work through that in a couple hours and forget about it, and it felt great the rest of the day. So what I do is just try to nip it in the butt immediately. And what's funny is I think I've read over this a few times. I think it talks about that in here. For example, you might wake up in the middle of the night and remember a phone call that needs to be made the following day. Then, rather than feeling relieved that you remembered such an important call, you start thinking about everything you have to do tomorrow. You start thinking about the problems. You start thinking about the conversations. You start thinking about your boss and getting yourself even more upset. And pretty soon, you think to yourself, I can't believe how busy I am. So, I must have 50 phone calls to do tomorrow. Whose life is this anyway? And on and on and on and on it goes. You're feeling sorry for yourself. For many people, there's no limit to how long this type of thought attack goes on. It can go on. In fact, I've been told by many of my clients, Dr. Carlson says, many of his clients have said that their days and nights are spent in this type of mental rehearsal. Needless to say, it is impossible to feel peaceful with your head full of concerns and annoyances. Well, I think we all can relate to that. It's definitely hard to be peaceful when you're agitated or ignored. Somebody told me the other day, I was listening to this podcast, and they said, if you start to get in a mindset and you want to go sin, start to sing gospel songs, because you can't be singing gospel songs and sin at the same time, I don't think, so it made me kind of think of like bank robbers heading to rob a bank. You'd never hear them sitting in the back of the van holding their guns going, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. All right, let's go, boys. I don't think they'd be listening to that. They might be listening to like some Highway to Hell, something. Anyways, I'm getting way off track. I apologize, but it just made me think of that. So maybe you could use that. I've tried using it, and it's actually helped. Next time I would, having a bad thought or wanting to go do something that really didn't align with my spirituality and where I am right now in life after work, I sang either worship or gospel songs all the way home. And it was pretty hard to think about sinning when I was singing gospel songs. So neat little trick. Try it next time. The solution is to notice what's happening in your head before your thoughts have a chance to build momentum. Yes, amen. The sooner you catch yourself in the act of building your mental snowball, the sooner you can catch your mental snowball, the easier it is to stop it. And here, for example, you might notice your snowball thinking right when you start running through the list of what you have to do the next day. Then, instead of obsessing on your upcoming day, you say to yourself, whew, there I go again. Whew, there I go again. And consciously nip it in the bud. Okay, that must have been in my subconscious because I read it before. Immediately, consciously nip it in the bud. You stop your train of thought before it has a chance to get going. You can then focus not on how overwhelmed you are, but on how grateful you are for remembering the phone. Write it down on a piece of paper and go back to sleep. You might even consider keeping a pen and paper by the bed for such moments. You may indeed be a very busy person, but remember that. Filling your head with thoughts of overwhelmingness, you are only good grief, I can't talk today. I've already read this. Exasperates the problem. by making you feel even more stressed than you already are. Try the simple little exercise. The next time you begin to obsess on your schedule, you'll be amazed at how effective it can be. Amen, brothers and sisters. I mean, that's a big one there. I think that leads to me, that's one of the biggest ones for me. I can think about one thing and get going and going and going, and then I can't sleep because I got obsessive compulsive disorder. So when I gotta do something, I gotta do it now. That's for sure. I decided I wanted to get a haircut a couple days after work, and I went to every barber in town that was open till 7. Nope. Eventually, I had to give up, but I almost cut my own hair because when I put it in my mind to do something, I can't quit. And I think maybe I could start using some of these practices, like that. When I got in that mindset of really wanting to get a haircut for some reason after work, I should have immediately said, well, Tyson, they're probably not going to be open. It's late. So don't even try tonight because you'll frustrate yourself. Call in the morning when you're at work and book an appointment for tomorrow after work. That's what I should have told myself, but I didn't. I went to this one. Nope. I cruised across town to that one. I went to this one. They're closed. I went to one more that was open till 7. Told them I'd tip them an extra $20. They'd give me a haircut. She just couldn't do it. So, I should have nipped that in the bud right away. Instead, I wasted 30, 40 minutes of my evening on just nonsense, and which is insane because time is valuable. Time is the only thing we have that we can't get back. That is for sure. So I will leave you with this, folks. Do not ever let someone's opinion of you determine your reality. That is very important. Do not let someone's opinion of you determine your reality. Keep fighting. Just keep on rolling. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't let your mind start snowballing and going with all this stuff, because you can think and analyze stuff a million times, but if it's a circumstance that it's not going to change it anyways, what's the point? So sometimes maybe just relax, take a deep breath, look at it from a different point of view, and those snowball effect stuff, just try to nip it in the butt. I'm definitely going to try more and more. And the more that I do little tricks like this, stuff that Dr. Carlson says, and tricks out of the good book, and little things to stay on course, make my life better, make my spirit more full. It just seems like life just seems to be getting a little better every day. And I do have some exciting news that I don't know, I feel like sharing. That's not proud or nothing. It's God above for sure. But today is Today is 70 days sober for me, and I thank the good Lord above for that. And all you guys who've watched my little mission here, and have sent me encouraging messages, I really appreciate that. Thanks for all the support, and I'll make y'all proud. Remember, lose your ego so you can start to live your life, and love reciprocates. That's a proven fact. I'm out.